Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi. Welcome to Skribr and Decod3rs Show. I'm your host, Vpiphany. Joining us from Skribr today is Liwei. And of course, Vincent Decod3rs is here, waving to you all.
GM
Good morning,
America.
everybody.
Yeah. I think most of America is asleep, if you want to know the truth.
True.
But
It's
yeah, especially if they're at NFT NYC. Maybe they're just coming home, but probably not tuning
No.
in.
Still drunk.
Yeah. In any
Kick
case,
on.
let's get into it. One of the big controversies of the week: jump vote for CWG.
Yes. Caused a bit of a kerfuffle, didn't it?
Yeah. So it's 3 people in the 4. I thought it was 3. Okay, 4 people, and the vote was for them to get $90K a year to do what exactly?
Yeah. So I think I'll preface this by saying I knowing the guys who are part of the team, I don't think they came into it with malicious intent. I think it just the timing and how they went about it was poor, and they've since acknowledged that. So basically, it was 4 guys: Slog, Chemo, Durden, and the 4th guy, it's C2 Iptic. I'm going to call him Cryptic for the sake of this show because his online name otherwise infuriates me. Nothing personal. But basically, these 4 guys are leading the core working group. It's a core team that's going to guide help guide developing the Jupe ecosystem, target DAO efficiency specifically, and just sort of carry through a lot of their visions with things, specifically things like the LFG launchpad, fine-tuning those processes, developing grants. So that's sort of their role. And understandably, there was a lot of uproar about not only their base pay, but also a fairly large allocation that they were going to get of the Jupe token as well. So it sort of brought up the question of how much are they worth, which is a bit of a how long's a piece of string question. But I think it's fair to say that the general consensus was that a base salary of $80K per year for a part-time gig seems a bit much.
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Yeah, and then you throw in I think it's
allocation.
Each member gets about 750,000 Jupe over a 2-year period, which is about 1.2 million at current price. So again, it seems very exorbitant for what is otherwise part-time.
Yeah, and it's going to go up, no doubt.
Yes. Yeah,
so it's
correct.
actually going to be probably like 2 million over that period at least.
Correct. And knowing full well that these guys are have their own other gigs as well, like Durden's working with Vpiphany, Solana and Chemo doing Radiance. So it's not like this is going to be taking all their attention as well. So I understand the concerns that were raised for sure.
Yeah, except that everybody voted yes. So they were concerned, but they still voted yes. So they not did they was it this sticker shock after the fact? Because it was overwhelmingly yes. It wasn't like yes by 1%.
Yeah.
It was like 73% quorum, as far as I read.
A big part of the problem, as I understand it, was that the actual proposal itself stated that those who voted would be eligible for active staking rewards as part of that. And a lot of people interpreted that for whatever reason as if you voted for the result that won, then you would get that. That was a big sort of misinterpretation too. That, and for people who are voting to be part of it anyway, yes is at the top of the list. So it's just easy to tick yes and get on with it too. So that creates some obvious issues as well. But I think it's definitely an exhibit A of one of the fundamental problems with DAOs is that you're not necessarily getting people with voting power who aren't actively engaging as you would, as they should rather. Go on, Vincent.
Is democracy a good system?
Oh, God, here we go.
I was waiting for this.
This is not a political show.
No, we talk about
On
democracy.
this
We're
show,
not politics.
none of the political views on this show, in particular from Vincent Decoders, are an
I will
endorsement
say-
by Skribr or Decoders. Thank you.
One thing
Decoders doesn't endorse my point of view.
I will say one thing that did remind me of is there's this great meme of this guy, and he's like I think he's from India, and he's like a guru of some sort, and he's giving like a presentation. And he goes, "Democracy is government for the people, chosen by the people, but the people are retarded." And it just made me laugh, and it sort of reminded me of that too.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely
it's
a bit
definitely
of
that. It's definitely that. Yeah, if it's a part-time gig, there was a part of me that was like, okay, 90, 80. If you're in America, 90, 80, and you live in a major city, that's nothing these days. But if it's a part-time gig and you're getting a full-time, you have a full-time gig somewhere else, this is a side hustle, that's kind of outrageous because yes, we're paying for your expertise, but we're also paying for your time, and you're not,
Well, I mean,
there are going to be times when they ask for things, and it's like, I don't have the time to do that.
like, okay, so, but if they are the Rihanna of Web3, like, that's cheap. Who are these guys? Are they high-profile guys that gonna change the Jupiter
if you're
ecosystem?
asking the question, they can't be that high profile, right?
I mean, there's a lot of US celebrities that I never heard of it, but
I
they're
think-
still
Well, I mean, no, they're celebrities and they're celebrities. Like,
the way I describe it is they have a profile to a degree within the Web3 bubble, which is already a very, very concentrated bubble in of itself. I'm familiar with 3 of the guys. I'm not as familiar with Cryptic. I know that he was on the core team for Marinade, and he's currently an accountant for Meteora. So he's got some sort of background and experience in DeFi and all those sorts of things. Slorg, I have to say, I do like Slorg a lot. He does a lot of his general sort of goal is pursuit of public goods. So he's the one who came up with Sol Incinerator. He's also in Radiance DAO, and he's been helping out with Lighthouse Protocol, which is an open source system to try and help people stop getting drained. He writes a lot of threads sort of helping people identify scams too. So I do think, Slorg is someone I've got a lot of time for. Chemo's a funny guy. His background is in creative endeavors, so videos, music, audio production, stuff like that. His whole thing's Radiance DAO. He got more known for about like an 11-minute video he did, essentially shitting on NFTs as a community concept and talking about all the communities that have popped up and since died away. So in terms of his experience with DeFi, I'm not as familiar with. I think a lot of his experience is in front-end UI and UX development. And then Durden is, I have to admit, big fan of Durden personally too. He's the head of Vpiphany protocol, and they're a DeFi protocol that does proactive market making. So if you look at the DeFi statistics, what they're doing is easily the most capital efficient decentralized exchange on Solana. Not sure if that's changed. That might have changed, but he's really switched on too. So I don't think these guys they're not pushovers. There's some experience in the space, but like again, it all comes back to it all comes back to what's that worth ultimately.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, do you think they can bring 100 million of values for the Jupiter ecosystem?
I think it's too early to say because I don't know what. I think the big part of the problem was they didn't clearly outline what their plans were going to be. Yeah. And a lot of things that then got brought up when people expressed concerns weren't originally in the proposal. So things like what accountability measures are there? Where did their figures come from? So I think a lot of it seemed a bit silly because, for example, their dupe allocation was an arbitrary number purely because when the dupe team funds the DAO wallet, they do it at a 10-to-1 ratio. So for every USDC, they put 10 dupe in. So they just went, cool, we're given a $450,000 expense budget. So 10-to-1 of that, 4.5 million dupe. And that just seemed like a weird way to come to that number for me personally, just my opinion. Yeah. But that's where, a lot of people are like, yo, this seems like a bit much.
Yeah.
But I think Yeah, they have since come out. They did that 3 hour long space where they sort of talk things over, and they have come out and made some points that offer me a bit of reassurance personally. It's all going to come down to how those accountability factors work, and I'm curious as well that given the vote was overwhelmingly a yes, despite the people who paid attention having their responses, do Duke follow through on that vote, or do they kind of go, this is probably a dud vote? I'm curious to see how that goes as well.
Interesting. Also with Droop, today is Zeus Day, I believe. So Zeus is launching today on LFG. Lots of unhappy people with that allocation as well.
Okay.
Not super clear how it went down. For example, I'll just use my example. I mean, I'm not unhappy or happy. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I have been in Zealy for at least 2 months, at least. I invited people. One of the people I invited only joined like 2 weeks ago. He's getting 260 and I'm getting 760. It seems like, and I've been like grinding those Zealy things out for a while now. So it seems a little bit like for somebody to join 2 weeks ago and still have a third of what I have, it seems a little bit imbalanced to me.
Are they getting the allocation from something else potentially? Like
they're not. It's
okay.
The allocation is no, maybe. The allocation is based on stake Droop, I believe, or Droop votes.
Droop voters, yeah.
Droop voters. It's Zealy grinders and it's Dappy gang holders.
Yeah, okay.
1% to all three of those, and then the rest, I don't know how it's being allocated, but that's the pre-allocation factors. I've staked some Droop and voted twice, I think, and I've done that Zealy grinding. I don't own a Dappy gang.
Yeah,
because Dappy gang went all the way up to like 12 Sol, and now that the snapshot's been done, it's back down at like 4 or 3. So
yeah, isn't that just typical?
Yeah.
Not unusual.
It's a typical Solana play in particular. So it's like next week everything's gonna go up a little bit because people are excited and coming off of the high of NFT NYC, and if they went to the DKS party, they're buying into that, or if they went to Monkey Down, decided like that was worth it, and they don't own one yet, they'll buy into that, and then the week after it traditionally plummets. So I'm looking at 2 weeks after for anything that I was still wanting to get in the market.
Or bring me exit liquidity, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice too next week to get some exit liquidity, but I don't think anybody's interested in anything I have, so there's that.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a good point. fatal error in the plan, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unless it's like a random thing like Dappy Gang, where Dappy Gang basically got readopted and added to Zeus, so it pumped, like it's I think it's like one of the first initial projects. I know it's the first project like Donnie bought.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's a very early project that I didn't even know existed, to be honest. Till it's rabbits until Zeus came about.
Yeah, I know Donnie was.
Unless you have something like that that's going to breathe new life into you, you're pretty much, or you're Monkey DAO, DKS, those kind of projects. I don't know where we're going exactly.
Is that not function project?
I have no idea who.
Oh yeah, no, it's another rabbits project stuff.
What are you looking at?
Dappy Gang.
Oh right, yeah, I think there's something like that. Something along those lines.
All right, I haven't done this yet, but Gamble's moved to ETH. I should do that today. Have you bridged?
I should mention I actually no longer hold any of my gambles. Just nothing sort of personal against anybody. It's just sort of my own strategy. But I think it might be worth checking out V, because they did for a period of time cover your migration and staking
60 days.
Oh, it is 60 days?
60 days?
Oh,
I'm good.
Oh, you're sweet.
Yeah.
Wow, a long time to be covering that because those ETH gas fees must be piling up.
It's $300,000 budget for gas fees.
Yeah, far out.
Yeah.
So
No, I knew it wasn't like 2 days or something. So I kind of have been chilling because I didn't want to get into the big pile up the first few days. But yeah, they're covering your gas fees. They're covering it goes into instant staking, I believe, and you also get like something about $10 USDC per gamble once you migrate or something. I don't know, something.
Okay.
I read something, but I didn't quite understand it, and I was like, I'll circle back when I get to this part.
Yeah.
But have you migrated, Vincent?
No, I sold my gambles at 500 Polygon.
Oh, I never knew it went up to 500 Polygon. I didn't even know what wallet they were in till recently.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's a bit like that with my EVM.
Yeah, no, that's not even my EVM. For some reason I have them in the Ledger Live wallet. I had some problems with gambles in the beginning, so that's probably why they ended up there. And like, I never look at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it ever
quite similar.
went to 500?
Sorry?
Gambles? I'm checking the price. Okay, so 350. Okay, I'm gonna share that.
Yeah, I never saw it go above 350, but I
Okay,
honestly wasn't ever looking.
Maybe
It's 200 now, isn't it?
It's about the 350 mark thereabouts.
Yeah,
It's sort of hovered around there for a bit of time. But yeah, so much of my Polygon and ETH stuff I just stuck in a wallet and just never looked back at them for a long time because I absolutely hate operating on EVM. Yeah, I think, look, props to the team. That 300K is a lot to outlay for the sake of a bridge, especially considering that they have no control over when people bridge. If you get everyone bridging their shit at the time where gas fees just happen to be the highest, that racks up very, very quickly. So I think,
where is the price? Where is the price?
I don't know. Magic Eden is very hard to navigate these days. I have no idea.
Is that because it should be here, right? No, the other one.
Like I said.
Oh, show us your wallet. Oh, it's not your wallet, it's someone else's.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we need something like what Sniper do for Sol to be on ETH and
Polygon. Okay. So Polygon doesn't have. Okay, so Sniper.
Yeah. For how long some of these EVM chains have been around for, the infrastructure on them is honestly embarrassing. So only possible in Solana, baby.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Because they're not on Tensor either. Because obviously it's Polygon.
Nah, Tensor being Sol only. Yeah.
So. Oh yeah, that's why I'm stupid. So again.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, Pengzu. Always count on him to know what's up. 10 USDC per account created on the Gamble site for any account that holds at least one bull. So there you go.
Nice
details there.
Okay.
Shout out to Peng for his Decod3rs show, being on the Decod3rs show last night. That was fantastic.
That was good. That was good. Yeah. That was like philosophical investors French mindset. That was good.
Yeah, he's got some amazing background and experience, and he's always great to chat to. I honestly thought that you guys are going to be talking in French, and no one corrected me. I kept saying, "Oh, I hope there's English subtitles." And no one said anything, and I hopped in speaking English, and I was like, "Oh, we're good. Thank goodness for that."
That's why you commented that. Okay, because I was thinking it was the accent, and it's subtitle because of the accent.
No, definitely the accent too.
I don't know what you're talking about. Which accent? Okay, I can find price history of gambles. So for my own sake, let's say I sold for 500, but I'm not sure anymore. Maybe it was 350.
I don't remember seeing it pass through 50, but then I wasn't paying attention for a long time.
I know it was over the min price because I said, it's above min price, so let's do that. But it's basically 400. So back to that. But so Mavericks are getting. So if gamblers so just explain to me, if you're a gambler, you get rack back stuff with gambles, and Mavericks, you get forgot what you get, but you get GCOs, so that's cool. But and it's on Sol. But I forgot what you get from the. Oh yeah, no, you get rev share of the 25% of Carlos in putting back the money. Pengzu, help me.
Would you like me to jump in for you?
Oh yes, please.
I might need Peng. I might need either Matchy or Pengs to confirm this. So if I remember correctly, gambles you get rake back on the casino. Yes. You also get a rev share via engage to earn from the casino.
Yeah.
And then for the Mavericks, you get staking for the JCO token. JCO has its utilities such as discount deposits on gambles. Then you got all that what they're doing with Jelly Drop, Soul Sweet, and Monet. And so your Mavericks, you can stake the JCO that you earn will be for a share of rev from the Jelly products, but not the casino. But Carlos has said that for a period of time, he will be contributing his share of profit from the casino.
That's what I remember.
Which honestly, I look forward to the day Carlos gets to pay himself. I feel like he's put so much in and given back to so many people. I really hope one day he gets to reward himself because he bloody well deserves it.
It's basically a volume game, right? Like if you believe in the capacity of like, I think like Rollbit is like 1 million a day or something.
Yeah. It's all banking on the potential for transactional volume and how
1%.
Trying to capture that.
If you believe that they can make like 10% of that, Evan, you can make the calculation and see if it's a good deal or not. Which I think I'm still saying that since 10 days, but I will load my Mavericks bags.
Yeah, you'll inevitably have that where when there is some sort of rev share or passive return that affects the pricing of the actual NFT itself.
Yeah,
so
but that's
affect and correlate.
Yeah, that's the curse of utility project, right? Like again, you have either a brand project or you have a utility project, and if you are a utility project, you have less chance to go to 100 Sol, but there is a high chance that you don't go to 0. But with a brand project, if you win, you go to 1,000 Sol. If you fail, you just lost everything.
0 Valhalla. But that just comes down to understanding the nature of the game you're playing. You know? So many people
you have meme coins.
Utility projects and wondering why it wasn't mooning. You think,
exactly. Yeah. And then you have meme coins.
There is something with rarity, though. Somewhere along there.
Okay, you get more money if it's epic. Like you get more rack back, and rack back means, because I didn't know. So you play, and then you get your money back on what you play.
Yeah, rake back. So you get higher percentage rake back for higher rarity.
Exactly. Yes, I think it's 25%.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're a gambler, buy gambles, and if you want some money for free, buy Mavericks.
Well, I have Mavericks and I have a Burning Games room, so I get reward share on the Burning Games room eventually.
I think Peng makes a great point there as well, is that standard utility projects will always have that ceiling because people will only value their utility so much. So what you're banking on with the potential of the casino, given how fast that market grows, is that even though your NFT might be pegged to the rev share return, the level of those returns, the ceiling's much, much higher. There's a lot of potential there too. So you've got that element of speculation, but also your ceilings not as set in stone, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there is a play for utility project to always have a speculation aspect of it in game theory, that people will always speculate. And basically we talked about that with Pengzu yesterday too, right? Like when you share like non-tangible value of your brand and people speculate on that, then you go to the moon. You go to the moon.
Yeah.
But
the challenge with that though is that yes, you can have the speculation, but at some point you're gonna need something tangible.
Yeah.
And so the speculation is going to come home to Nest. And so whether that becomes that you fulfill the expectation or you don't, that's a whole other thing.
But you instead you do that, and then instead of doing that to zero, you do that. You have less volatility. That's what instead of waving in my screen, it's like if you back up speculation with utility, then you have less volatility, and people can trade your collection because
I'll
of.
be honest, man. I like the hand waving personally. I think you should go back to that. I enjoy it. There we go. Love that. Let's go. V's just sitting there going, I'm surrounded by idiots.
No, yeah. Oh, she knows that since 2021.
Nothing new.
Okay, Migos. Migos is doing an art upgrade.
No, it's April Fool.
Soon. It's what?
It's an April Fool.
It was an April Fool.
I thought it was an April Fool's thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it was very detailed for an April Fool. But yeah, thank God they're not doing that, because that would have been done.
I thought it was just a tweet.
It was very detailed.
There's nothing on their Twitter, but I feel like
exactly. It's on Discord.
I feel like they would know better than to do an art upgrade now. I feel like that would be very, very. I think they're smarter than that. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay, SBF got 25 years.
Oh
yeah. Bad, ugly. What do we think? I mean, I personally think that it's a little bit light, considering that people died over this. I feel like he should have also gotten some sort of unlawful death, manslaughter, somewhere along there. It could be coming. I mean, I don't know if he has any other civil or legal cases pending, but you know, in terms of financial crimes, I think it's quite a deep financial crime. So 25 years. I mean, and then, you know, you have to think about the legal system and the fact that, you know, good behavior goes a long way. The fact that the guy who did the Firefest is out doing Firefest 2 right now. And I think he was supposed to be in for 25 years. He's out in, I mean, that can't even be, that must be like 5, right? So for me, yeah, I think it's a bit light.
I'm really glad you said that, because there was a part of me wondering if I was just being salty, because I know a lot of people who got wrecked by what happened. But I think as well, for me personally, and this is probably me being very selfish, but FTX as an exchange was such a freaking good UI that I've yet to find an exchange that comes close to it. So when everything happened, it felt like that scene from Star Wars when Obi-Wan's yelling at Anakin, going like, "You were the chosen one. Like, you fuck this, like, you know, you were the chosen one. You fucked this up for the rest of us."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely interesting to see some of the arguments being made. So prosecution wanted 40 to 50 years. Defense wanted, I think it was 6.5, because their reasoning was it was first time and non-violent, which for me is absolutely ridiculous, because you're basically making the claim that a non-violent crime is inherently less severe. But the fact is he hurt a hell of a lot more fucking people through what he did than most people would with a violent crime necessarily.
And there were a lot of suicides caused from that.
Absolutely.
Directly caused from that, which is why I say that he should be getting an unlawful death or manslaughter or even homicide charge. But you know.
And by comparison, the guy who created Silk Road, he's in prison for life. So just it's interesting, sort of the different standards there. I think as well what rubbed me up the wrong way is SBF afterwards releases this statement going, he didn't realize what he was doing was illegal. And like, it's that constant like lack of accountability. Like, if you don't misappropriate $8 billion of customer funds and don't think to yourself, maybe this isn't the right thing to do.
No, but
like, it's just utterly ridiculous.
The fact that he's saying that is like saying, oh, like it's a press stunt when he say, okay, if you say that, you're crazy. So you're crazy, you know what I mean? Like, and like the difference is like, SBF is backed by white collar protection stuff, and like the silver guy is just like one guy in his room enjoying crypto freedom.
I mean, you know, he comes from a nice academic family.
Yeah, exactly.
They live in a good neighborhood in Berkeley or San Jose or wherever they live. so there's that. I mean, and there's other cases of affluenza in that area in terms of rulings. Because there's an infamous Berkeley swimmer who got 3 years for a violent crime. But I thought he got off easy.
Yeah.
I mean,
just to be really, really clear as well, because I see Matchy's comment, which is fair enough. I'm not trying to downplay what went on at Silk Road. Absolutely, it was
just a comparison.
Absolutely awful stuff. Yeah, it's just a reference. That's all it is. It's not to downplay any of that. Just to be very, very clear about that.
Yeah.
And the fact is that he said he didn't know, but he did know that they were keeping 2 sets of books, which already is an indication that something's not right.
Exactly.
2 sets of books. It's an actual term used out here.
It's called creative accounting.
Affluenza. Creative accounting is not really accounting. It's not. But having 2 sets of books is a clear sign of wire fraud.
I don't buy into the whole. Sorry.
No, I mean, there are kind of legit people, high IQ / smart guys. Plus, it required a whole infrastructure to cover what you're doing anyway. So you can mastermind it, but then it's not it's not a 2 people jobs. But I mean, people are crazy. Look at Terranos woman who was selling the blood test for hundreds of millions, raise hundreds of millions from investors and stuff.
Elizabeth
She
Holmes,
only went to jail after she got married and had 2 children.
Exactly. So it's white collar crimes. It's it's bad that it's unequal treatment for justice and stuff, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think more than anything else is just the excuse making, the lack of accountability, just rubbed me up the wrong way. But
were you in his when he did that Twitter space just after FTX went down?
No, I was
he has
overseas
zero.
at the time.
He has zero. He's completely emotionless.
Yeah.
And somebody said to him, I guess it was Mario, said to him, but people died, people have killed themselves over this. And he just was like, yeah, awful sorry about that. That was literally it in that tone.
the most robotic response to that possible.
Yeah, it was so he's nuts.
It's borderline, no, but autistic and all of this social not parasocial, but social behavior missing piece stuff. He's able to create a fraud, but he's not able to basically feel empathy.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of that as well.
But bro, you have to be insane to do what they pull.
To what?
To sleep to do what they did and sleep over it. You kind of have to be crazy, kind of.
I think I might need those English subtitles after all, because I heard something very, very different there. I'm sorry, Vincent.
That's okay. I'm trying to figure out what you understood, but
no, you don't want to know. Don't worry about it. What goes up in here is.
Do you have multi-accounting books too?
What was that? Sorry.
Do you have multiple accounting books too? Because crazy. No, you're not.
I'd like
crazy.
To take the fifth. Plead the fifth on that one. Thank you very much.
Fair enough. I lost my ledger in a boat accident. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I believe that.
Yeah, true.
Oh goodness.
But Murdoch, how much Murdoch took? Multiple hundred of thousands of years, non-comprehensible, right? Murdoch?
Sorry,
You know Murdoch?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but
Rupert
I don't know what the reference is.
Yeah.
Murdoch died in prison because it took multiple life sentence all piled together in jail.
What?
It took 250 years, right?
Murdoch?
He wasn't in.
Murdoch?
Murdoch wasn't in
No.
prison, was he?
No, he died in prison.
Murdoch?
Nah, surely not.
No.
He did. Jail.
I need to look this up. No way.
He's still alive.
No.
No.
Is that
he really
not
is.
Murdoch?
I think it's not Murdoch because this man is still
yeah.
alive.
You're thinking of someone else because Rupert Murdoch's definitely still alive.
Yeah.
He's been kicking for a long time, to be fair to him.
The guys who stole billion from rich people too.
Oh, you're talking about Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff.
Oh yes, Madoff. Yeah, Madoff is someone else. My bad.
Yeah, you're thinking of
Madoff.
Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, Madoff. Madoff dies in jail. So same sentence, wrong name. See, so
Same,
sometimes
but
they die.
Same, but different.
Yeah, Murdoch is like.
And when you rob from rich celebrities, you're gonna do the time.
Yeah.
When you rob from Solana poors and crypto freaks, maybe you only get 25 years.
How's Tom Brady?
Brady.
Yeah, he stole from Tom Brady, so right, so kind of
ish. I think Tom Brady's okay.
Yeah,
I think Tom Brady's.
I think he can afford his mortgage.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. So question with crypto and Web3. Rug happen, FTX, like the most regulated exchange in the US, Rug 2, massive fraud, fair enough. What about extreme ownership of what you do with your wallets? If we want to live in a decentralized world anyway, right?
I think that is 100% an element to it. Absolutely. The whole point of taking control of your wallets is you also take control of the responsibility. And a lot of people want that, but without the responsibility. I probably come from a place of PTSD because I've worked in situations where I've just I was once helping in a server where I literally created this whole thing saying, guys, this is a common scam that's going around. Be careful. And it was the fake NFTs being airdropped. And then literally the next comment was, this NFT's appeared in my wallet. What should I do with it? And I'm literally like, just look immediately above your comment, you moron. Because to some, and I don't mean to be heartless, but some people, when you look at the scams they fall for, it gets harder and harder to have sympathy sometimes. I think FTX was a great example of not your keys, not your wallet. I think it was really, I think that helped kickstart the important understanding of self-custody. That's the word I was looking for.
I mean,
how important that is.
It's hard too, right? Because FTX, again, the most regulated exchange ever, kind of in the US, at least.
Yeah.
I think that was the case. If that shit happened, okay, Binance is more gray water. But for example, Kraken, they are in the business for the last 15 years. And not 15, 10 years. If it's happened to them, and you can always hire one guy, and then in 3 years after he becomes the CTO and he get access to Kraken funds and you get liquidated. It's hard, right?
I think you're right. I think there's a difference between your on-chain scams versus a big exchange. I don't think anyone expected FTX to happen the way that it did. I was lucky. I missed it. I dodged it by the skin of my teeth. But I was always sort of on edge because I've seen things that have happened in the past. Not everyone's had that. And you would assume that an exchange like FTX would be keeping things above board. I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to assume from people. So I definitely don't hold it against anyone there. I think it really was an eye-opener for that. If FTX can go down the way that it did, you really have to approach everything assuming that the worst can happen. I've done many wallet security and structuring presentations in Skribr, and I always preface it by saying, guys, I am a paranoid motherfucker, but there's a reason why I haven't been drained, knock on wood. There's a reason why I haven't been drained, because of my paranoia, the way I structure things too. You don't have to go that far, but
Yeah.
It's sort of finding your own middle ground there, but understanding there's something to be done. Like, it kills me watching people when they've got like a hot wallet and all their shit's in that hot wallet, and I'm thinking, what are you doing? Like, you don't even need a ledger. Just create a second hot wallet that doesn't interact with everything. That's better than nothing. Yes, thank you, Pengzu. My OCD is the best security. That is financial advice. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And okay, so previous comment. Yesterday, Zach XBT exposed Solana holders requesting his help because he gave his seed phrase. Like,
good God.
But okay, so that's my thesis too, right? Like, okay, so you have friction on Web3, like for Web3 onboarding, because all of that, right? Yes, it's like harder to protect your seed phrase than having a MasterCard, right? But that's why you can get 1000x in 24 hours buying Bommy, right? That's risk reward stuff. Should people give up on like decentralization and like self-security, self-custody, self-ownership to have solution like FTX or like people like companies that will store those seed phrase for you because it's easy for you to manage, or you keep your seed phrase under your bed, but you can get home invasion stuff.
I personally think it's a matter of horses for courses. I don't think there's a one size fits all. You've got someone like me who's probably been around long enough to sort his own shit out. I don't expect other people to go that far, and not everyone can do that. So maybe there is a middle ground there where, you know, I'm totally against my seed phrase being stored elsewhere, but some people might go for that as long as they understand the risk that they're taking. And I think that's the key thing, is understanding what you're doing and what the risks are involved. I think where people fall over is they, one, have no idea what they're doing, and they're two, exposing themselves to risks that they're not aware of. So there's a level of self-education that's required with that too. If you don't want to go that far, then okay, you can rely on somebody else, but don't go crying to them if something happens on their end too, because you're the one who relinquish control to them. So it's all about how you choose to set it up for yourself and what comes with that.
What would be the top three security measure that come to the top of your mind? That's the dumbest, the easiest shit to do, and and the dumbest actions.
So first and foremost, I think as a starting point, like, is everyone where a lot of people fall over is they go, I can't afford a hardware wallet, or I don't have a ledger or whatnot, so they don't bother doing anything. You can still do things without a ledger wallet. You know, a ledger wallet is just an additional layer on top of a wallet for security. What you can do is if you've got all your assets in one wallet, you can just create a bunch of more hot wallets and then just segregate your assets. And then the idea of separating out your wallets is you minimize what they interact with. So for example, I have all of my Decod. I have my Decod in its own wallet. That Decod wallet will only ever interact with Decod ecosystem things. I'm still careful with links I click on because there's only so much you can do. But what that means is if that wallet gets drained, only that gets drained and everything else is okay. Unless, of course, your seed phrase gets compromised, which I don't know how that happens these days. But anyway, so you just separating out your assets, like the whole don't put all your eggs in one basket, separate them out. And on Solana, there's really no excuse for that. On Ethereum, I can understand it because you've got a fund wallet, you're paying gas to do all of that. It can add up very, very quickly. But sometimes it's worth paying the gas fees for that security. On Solana, where transaction fees are so cheap, there's really no excuse for not at a minimum level separating out your assets. You can do that as different seed phrase. If you want to go full paranoid, you can go different wallets under that parent seed phrase. There's a lot of levels you can do it. Then obviously there is getting a hardware wallet. That's such a big thing as well. And then I think a lot of it is just it's common sense really does go a long way. Like your common ones nowadays is you've got the, say, Wormhole puts a post up, and then if someone fake comes along and goes, puts a fake link up. And all you have to do is just look at the Twitter handle. It's different. Like I remember seeing one where Anson posted, he himself will never launch a token. And then the fake account below said, pretending to be him, says, I'm launching a token. And I'm just going, fucking, how thick do you have to be to not pick up on that? But anyway, I'm getting judgmental, which is an ugly color for me.
No, it's
but
good.
It's how frustrating it gets sometimes because it's right there. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, yeah.
My grumpy old man energy is coming through.
No, it's value for people.
We'll move on, and this will take up probably the rest of the time. DGods debuild.
Oh, okay.
Are you in that, Vincent?
Yeah, I made a post asking for feedback and stuff, blah blah blah. I want to see how it goes. Yeah, I also ask around.
Explain what it is first for the viewers.
Okay, I can do that. Basically, it's a. Do you see the Discord forum? It's basically a Discord forum where like community give feedback to like proposal and stuff. Can I show it here? Do I have it? So it's basically a forum for building stuff.
I love how excited you were when you said you were going to explain.
Houses? What are we building here? Pools?
So it's basically a gated community for people building various things and also creators for collaboration. I've applied. I haven't gotten in yet, so I can't personally judge it. But I think ultimately it's going to come down to the quality of interaction that's going on in there. I do think Frank and the D team have a knack for bringing people together under that, on the grounds, the common grounds of being a D asset holder, which is a good starting point. But ultimately, you need substance to it as well. Because the question I have is a lot of these founders out there already have their own internal groups that they communicate with. So what is D-Build going to offer that's not already out there? Maybe it's a more formalized spot to interact with, possibly. But then also, how do they separate people being genuine and the people who are going to come into that and, you know, be little shits as well? Like that's the other part of it too that I wonder. So I'm curious to see what Vincent's experience has been. I've yet to experience it, but yeah, those are my main queries.
Okay, I mean, cool. Let's go. I don't know if I should share it publicly, but I guess they're not going to ban me. I'm advertising D-Build, so fuck it. So
yeah, free marketing.
Cool. Exactly. So it's like small exclusive group stuff. Okay, so for example, yes.
If you're meant to be screen sharing, I'm not seeing anything yet.
It's there.
Yeah,
it's very bright and small.
Oh, okay, I'm getting rugged then.
Bright and small. Let me see. I'm gonna actually put on my glasses for this. Oh, I can see it now. If you
wait. Okay, so for example, if I take that, today it's my roadmap, build a store, so describe the project, looking good. Okay, still looking for my. I recommend just getting a print on demand service.
Facebook vibes.
What?
Toebox has said it's OG Facebook vibes.
Kinda, yeah. It's like exclusive stuff. See, like for example,
he's not wrong.
I think
that's why it's funny.
It's okay. So that it's kind of like, I don't know how to define it. But yeah, basically you like people in the community have experience. You want to start something, and you want feedback about that thing, basically. So I chilled.
So it's like a what's it? It's basically Reddit threads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I chilled decoders. I say, okay, how do we distribute? So this is what we do. Do you have any other ideas? And Pasta say, I don't like watch to earn anything, motherfuckers. Okay.
Good. Helpful.
I would like Nifty Portal. So yeah, that was interesting though, because I didn't dig. I already know what the fuck they were, but I analyzed more Nifty Portal and stuff. That's definitely, basically we are doing everything right. So that's cool. Okay. So then we talk, blah, blah, blah. Just probably a lot to establish to take it. So basically, yeah, feedback about content creation. From Pasta, who is like official content creators with like 80 1,000 followers on Twitter. So yeah, some stuff. It been there, done that. So there is that. For example, another post can make snag. You see people.
Okay,
coming
so
to
my question here is, how exclusive is this? What are the parameters to get in?
There's an application process. You have to obviously be a D asset holder, and then part of the application process is to stipulate what you're a part of, what your skill sets are, and they sort of review that as well. Yeah, so a couple of the Skribr lads were in there already. I think I actually saw Sus in there. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
he was online in there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious to see what they found of it too. So I think more than anything, it's just about what's actual substance to that.
Like, wait, the last.
I mean, if you're looking for OG Facebook vibes, they got it.
All the nostalgia that poured in. That was so great. Thank you, Sloth. That was fantastic.
The last post was 24 hours from DiMarco talking about GlueLab, the print MemeCon startup studio. Not startup, just MemeCon studio.
Yeah, all right. So let's talk about that for a second, because
that's something.
Don't keep track of it necessarily, but I heard a lot of kickback about Randy. What happened there?
Oh, they send me money. I sell the money, and then I get free money.
No.
Okay.
I don't think Randy was very successful, was it?
I get $1,000 out of it. So that's cool.
Of course you did. This guy bats his eyelids and gets airdrops falling into his laps.
Exactly. Yeah, come to daddy. No, but like, okay. So the whole that's why I want to have like a Rish on the channel too, because I need to talk about that, because I have a hard time, like, the whole thesis of a meme coin studio. It's kind of counterintuitive, because
launch a meme studio coin, what are you talking about? Like a launch
that's
pad,
all they're gonna do.
Yeah, the goal is like launching meme coin. So there is a thread. Okay, so so there is a thread, and we are on video, so I can leverage the video. Let me check. And basically the price went to 0 because the pre-sale, like, and Solana congestion and shit. So there is that too. Labs. Oh, is that?
So their entire business model is that they will periodically launch meme coins. Is that how I'm understanding it?
Yes.
Okay.
But the thing is, so the way they explain it is like they launch it and then it's community owned for the meme coin to not die instant as soon as they give up and go to the next one. It will be like take over by the community after they achieve 10 million market cap. Okay, so I have the thread. Collapse. Okay. So boom. Cool.
Not convinced by this, for the simple reason that, like, print itself is like not worth anything. So if you can't get your token like moving, I don't trust you with anybody else's token or with other tokens.
Exactly. That basically for decoders, it's like, okay, so we have like 10,000 followers channels, but we make like less than 100 viewers, and I will teach you how to have like 1,000 viewers. That doesn't make sense, right? Like the proof of, like, you can do that if you are bonk. Like you can do that when you are like micro cap. I don't know. Like,
I mean, there's something to be said for you. The coach doesn't have to play, but you have to have something to back up. Like the you know.
I mean, like that's.
I think Sorry, go on, Vincent.
Go for it. Just one sentence. Like doers do, and people who can do teach. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, I think that's discrediting teachers somewhat, but
a bit.
Yeah.
I think
it's a startup stuff.
Yeah. Look,
I mean it's a common term, but like I still think like it's not quite accurate.
Oh yeah, a lot of things that I say it's not accurate. But yeah, Liwei, what's up?
Surprise.
He says, giving financial advice. No, I think I'm always careful because I know I always have an instinctive reaction to something.
Yeah.
And I always have to be mindful that with time, very often, once I think through something, my initial instincts, I'm like, okay, maybe it wasn't quite that simple, but I'm just going to roll with this with the preface that who knows, I might change my mind. But
yeah.
I'm not someone who's big on meme coins anyway, to begin with. It's just not my thing. But ultimately, the way I see it is it's the law of diminishing returns. Is that if you've got meme coins coming out from a single source repeatedly, the number of people trying to play that game dwindles down because you got fewer people to engage with the game once they understand how it's constantly being played over and over again. It's the greater fool theory, right? You need someone who's more stupid than you. Not saying that buying is stupid, but you need the greater fool who's going to come in and be your exit liquidity.
Yeah.
And when people see this thing is just repeating these meme coins over and over again, it dwindles down is what my assumption would be.
Exactly.
And my PTSD on community owned or whatever that is, it's just like you've given up.
Yeah.
Like every project that's been handed over to the community, it's like
Well, the whole defense that I once came up with meme coins, to give them credit, was that unlike NFTs, where most NFTs go to zero, a lot of NFT projects have some sort of pretense over we are a community, we are a utility, and it's all completely dog shit. At least meme coins, it's very, very obvious. There's literally zero substance to it. You understand the nature of the game, and we're not trying to pretend to be something that we aren't. So it just feels like we're trying to go back to the we are a community project that the NFTs were doing. So it just, doesn't sit right with me. But hey, good luck to anyone playing it. Have fun.
No, exactly. And by the way, in investment, like the first impression, it's often where you have to go, because if you don't get it, like it means like, you can change your first. No, you don't change your first impression. Your first impression is always your first impression, but like you can evolve after. But it could mean that it's not for you. Like the project can be successful, but it can be successful without you understanding it, right?
Yeah.
But as an investor, don't invest in the project that you don't get it at the first sight, kind of. Low-key,
absolutely,
because you will not manage it well anyway, and you will be like driven by emotion, and we don't want emotion in our life. Emotion is bad. I'm joking. It's a joke. We love emotion. Anyway, ensure that every meme coin launch under the Glue Labs umbrella reach 10 million market cap. Transition to full community ownership once the previous goal is achieved. Collaborate with every NFT community to establish Glue Lab as the premier meme coin platform.
See, again, anything that claims to say as a minimum we're going to reach a certain financial level, guess what's going to happen? Everyone's going to try and front run you. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in the sense that, if everyone's waiting for 10 million market cap, something's going to go to the community. Yes. Anyway. I'll leave it there. There.
So, we got 10-star airdrop coming.
Oh.
Anybody excited? I mean, I'm getting zero. I've maybe used 10-star 4 times in my life.
Yeah, look, my thesis on airdrop farming is that the best airdrops to date have clearly been airdrops that were platforms that were already popular to use, and they just happen to then bring a token in. I'm not someone who likes to go out of their way to use a platform for the sake of farming a token that's coming from it. A few reasons. One, it's if I'm not getting gain out of actually using it, I find very little reason to be there, and I lose interest very, very quickly. And the second thing is, once that farming game starts coming into play, you got dilution, so much dilution. When you look at the tokens that did the best, or in terms of people getting good allocations, in terms of price holding reasonable levels or going up to reasonable levels, Pith, Dupe, Wormhole, JTO, they were all ones that did not that were running for a decent amount of time before they said we're going to do an airdrop. Then people then sort of got the idea of maybe farming them, but they were operating for a very long time prior to that, and they were operating because their products were inherently good. And so those have been my best airdrops for that reason. I was lucky enough to get Wormhole because I've done a lot of stuff on ETH and going back and forth. There you go. And I don't want it to sound like I'm just copying what Denomics said.
That's what I want to share here.
Yeah. I've been caught out.
But
it's
okay,
true.
so yeah, it's true. 100% is true. Boom. Everyone
or at
follow
least
Denomics.
You need a lot, or if you're going to farm, you need to do it at a very large volume. Like I remember when, because Matchy Big Brother, he was sort of very well known blur farmer, and he was putting so much volume through that exchange, and he was also losing a lot of money, but he wasn't fussed because he was banking on the airdrop, negating that and then some. So he come out on top ultimately. And then when it unfolded the way he did, he cracked the shits because it didn't make it up as he was expecting. So often when you get everyone swarming to the same thing, it's much harder for that to be worthwhile.
But didn't he do shitcoin the other day and make a bunch of money?
Oh,
exactly.
God.
So
yeah. Unfortunately, guys like him, there'll always be many greater fools to play into them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And
then the last thing I have on my list for today is Telegram ad payments through, I'm not sure who it's through.
Toncoin. Yeah, I saw that. Unfortunately, I'm not someone who likes to use
this.
I'm not someone who likes using Telegram. I've used it a couple of times.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't love it, but I do use BonkBot.
Yeah, I just find it very messy, and I think especially being based in Australia, half the Telegram channels I was in, nothing would happen when I'm awake, and then I go to sleep and wake up, and all the Americans have been chatting away, and I'm like, I got nothing. So it's very hard to keep track. I like structure and segmentation, like of Discord, and evidently my wallet.
You can segment Telegram. The Solana Hot Girl Club is very segmented. That's why I don't go in there very often, because they're like 50 channels.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too much then. So there's a balancing act to it. But I did look into it. Basically, what it is a way for people who are running their own channels to monetize their content through advertisements. So people who want to advertise something can pay using Toncoin and then target specific channels with their ads. And if you're a channel owner with more than 1,000 subscribers, you can get 50% of the Toncoin being paid. So it's all in this coin. What inherent value it might have, no idea.
Even sure I know.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. The other thing, a couple things that I wanted to mention that weren't on our list. There seems to be a influx of new domains being created through all domains. Like there's a bonk domain now. Is it bonk me or something? And then
I saw that. Yeah.
I only mention it because I said Solana Hot Girls Club, and they now have .shgc. You can get a .shgc, and the only reason that is because Melty wanted .bitch, but they wouldn't let her have it apparently.
I say we give the people what they want. I do know as well. I thank you for the reminder, because I've been meaning to look into this. But someone mentioned that the bonk dragon thing that's going on.
Yeah.
So part of that is also getting a bonk domain. So I need to look into that as well.
Oh, okay.
So I appreciate the reminder.
Yeah. I might just make a new wallet just for bonk then.
I'm still trying to figure out who's got leeway.sol. But to be honest, if they find out that I want it, they're going to extort me for it. So it is what it is. I probably won't even bother.
Yeah.
You can get
someone wants to donate it. Sorry?
Leeway.bitch.
I'd love that. That'd be fantastic. Please make it happen. Yeah, you heard it here first. Leeway.bitch. Let's go.
There was something else I was going to mention before we wrap up. We're over time a little bit. No, I can't remember now. Oh, well. Anything else? There's no bullish
like
Okay.
Leeway.bitch feels like a pretty strong point to finish.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good proper point.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you next time. Yeah. Bye.
Follow Skribr, follow everyone, like the video, blah, blah, blah. Bye.